What is up, people? So today I thought I should make a video of what's happening to the country, the mindsets of the people in the country because of the government and power. Like it's affecting so many things. I've talked so much about the Ministry of Ayush, how little value they hold for actual science, but the government has kind of imprinted itself in the minds of certain people, and those certain people are in the majority. I will show you what those people are like in 1 second.
धर्म के साथ सनातन के साथ है, हम उनके साथ है। बस यहाँ अपना हिंदुत्व हमें स्थापित करना है, तो इसके लिए बीजेपी को आना ही पड़ेगा।
आने वाले समय में संस्कृत को कोडिंग लैंग्वेज बनाने वाले हैं।
ये तो लेटेस्ट न्यूज है।
अभी तक नहीं बना। ये किसने बोला कि कोडिंग लैंग्वेज बनाने वाले सब?
क्यों नहीं, कोडिंग ही है, संस्कृत तो कोड है ना।
अभी जितने भी इंजीनियर्स कर रहे हैं वो संस्कृत में नहीं कर रहे
सब सीखेंगे दीदी, एक के बाद एक सब आए।
संस्कृत की नासा में तो कर चुके हैं, बिल्कुल।
संस्कृत तो कोड नासा में कर चुके हैं।
मैं कब हो गया ये? कब हुआ कब?
ये किसने बोला कि कोडिंग लैंग्वेज बनाने वाले सब?
क्यों नहीं, कोडिंग ही है, संस्कृत तो कोड है ना।
संस्कृत तो कोड है ना. There's a lady that clearly doesn't understand what code is, what coding is, and look at the confidence on her face. If this isn't Dunning-Krueger, I don't know what is. I'll show you what's Dunning-Krueger. 1 second. So this is the Dunning-Krueger effect. It was established by the psychologists Dunning and Krueger. Now it talks about the confidence level on a certain topic the more you learn about it. Okay, so as you learn more and become more competent, your confidence in the subject actually goes down. It actually initially shoots up when you learn very little about the subject, but as you learn how much more there is to the subject, how much more there is to learn, your confidence of how well you know, how competent you are, comes down as your competence increases. And slowly, as you get more and more competent, you get more and more confident. That's what this graph is. Now, this lady is at the peak right here of what a code is, of what Sanskrit language and how it relates to a code is. The lady that you just saw is right here. That is the utter confidence that you can see in this face right here. And all this is because of this lady is not alone. This mindset is something you can see all over the country because of the government that's in power. A government that doesn't value science and has things like the Ministry of Ayush, protecting all alternative medicine from all scrutiny. We also have things like this happening in the country. Teach Ramayana as part of history. I understand teaching Ramayana to the people who believe it's their mythology, who believe it's their religious mythology. Teaching that to them as that is fine. But teaching it as history, what is happening to this country, right? Ramayana and Mahabharata they've mentioned. It's a high-level NCERT panel that has sent this recommendation to NCERT. And it's not yet approved. It's not yet approved. That's the only consolation here. But judging by the things that have been happening in NCERT, I'm not surprised if it does get approved. Now, I tweeted about this, and this seems to have triggered all the right-wing Hindu nationalists. They seem to be really offended by what I said. I said time to move to another country. I can understand how this may not have been worded well, but they took great offense to this, and they were quick to reply with just the same kind of reply, the same reply. Leave, please, leave soon. Pakistan needs talent like this. Great move, I move. Pack your bags fast. That's the kind of replies I'm getting. I just saw this in the morning and it was at 180k views. Now it's at 220k views. It's going viral, boys. What can I say? But yeah, that's the kind of stuff you can expect with this government in power. But that's it about that. I have one more video to show you along the same theme, and the shirt I've changed it because there's another session of me recording. Now this is Philip DeFranco, who's an American YouTuber, if y'all watch him, but he usually talks about news topics, and he's done a story here regarding what's going on OTT platforms in India. Let's watch not talk any further.
Video and Netflix have caved to India's right-wing Hindu nationalist government. That is what Washington Post discovered after talking to some 24 sources about the streaming giant's rampant self-censorship in the face of political pressure from India. Where you've got executives and their lawyers asking for extensive changes to scripts and the removal of passing references to religion that might offend the Hindu right wing. Projects that deal with India's political, religious, or caste systems are politely declined when they're proposed or dropped midway through development. Sometimes even completed series and films have been quietly abandoned and withheld from Netflix and Prime Video from their more than 400 million combined viewers worldwide. And while the pressure has been building and building for years, the real watershed moment for the industry came back in January of 2021, because that was when Hindu nationalists whipped up anger toward the Prime Video series Tandab. And it's supposedly because one scene mocked a Hindu god.
It's so sad, man. All this goes on only because of the government that's in power.
But the show also depicted police brutality against student leaders and farmer protests. And so viewers in 9 states filed coordinated complaints with police, and authorities actually descended on Mumbai to interrogate actors and producers. With Prime Video's India head executive hiding inside safe houses and going radio quiet to avoid arrest. And still to this day, several cases alleging she hurt Hindu sentiments remain in the court despite Prime Video's attempts to have them dismissed. And this is she can't leave India without seeking permission from the police. And so with all this, you have a former director of production management for Netflix India recalling, streaming executives had to review the projects going forward. You wanted to make sure that you were not making the same mistakes that happened to Tandab. And all this as Hindu nationalists were then given another legal tool by a 2021 law requiring streaming companies to resolve viewer complaints within 15 days. Otherwise,
So I'm not playing much more of this. There was one more thing that I want to show you. The series called
suddenly
Gourmet.
vanished without a trace. With Prime Video instead releasing what one industry executive called a makeup film about an Indian archaeologist whose discoveries prompt him to reconsider his atheism. And with all this, you had Netflix taking notice of the trouble its competitor Amazon was having.
What beautiful topics. What amazing shows we would have had it not been for the government and them not approving these shows, fearing it would hurt religious sentiments of the Hindus and the Hindus who protest against these shows. So it's not only the things I said before that are being affected by the government that's in power, the lack of value for scientific temper, along with all of this, the amount of good entertainment that we don't have, it's all because of the government. So yeah, you know what to do. I don't want to talk about this any further, but I hope you know what to do. The power is in your hands. See you in the next one.